So Ubisoft is in massive hot water yet again because they can't put out good games to save their life right now. All they care about is pushing woke identity politics that nobody wants in any of their entertainment. Now, when those said woke projects fail, they revert to blaming the fans and blaming gamers for their inability to put out good content. Ubisoft yet again blames gamers after poor sales of Star Wars Outlaws. The stocks are falling due to the recent failures of Star Wars Outlaws and the delay of Assassin's Creed Shadows. That said, the CEO has blamed gamers for the poor sales of its recent Star Wars title. Ubisoft recently commented that the sales of its recent Star Wars game were below expectations, not just below, wildly below expectations, which has caused turmoil for the gaming giant. However, instead of taking responsibility for the damages and admitting their failure, the CEO seems to have blamed the fandom. But this flop has been on the way for a long time. This was inevitable, and many fans were criticizing the game well before launch. They were concerned, and those concerns came to life and even met below those very low expectations. And it is no surprise that this game is not selling at all. But not only that, Ubisoft delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows to polish it further as they wanted to meet the gamers' extraordinary expectations. And they're not extraordinary expectations, they're reasonable expectations because all they want is a good game, not some woke identity politics driven piece of shit garbage game. Ubisoft can't admit that they completely failed not only themselves, but they failed the gamers that buy these games. And Star Wars Outlaws is such a massive flop that it only sold 1 million copies in the first month that it launched. And you're like, oh, 1 million copies is really good. That's a lot of money. And I would somewhat agree if it was a super small independent game publisher / company. Star Wars Outlaws and Ubisoft are a massive company that have money to bleed. They sunk so much money into this game that the game cost right around $250 to $300 million. Let's compare it to Black Myth Wukong for a second. Black Myth Wukong has a budget around $70 million, an absolute fraction of a budget like Star Wars Outlaws, which has a budget between $250 and $300 million. Star Wars Outlaws sold only 1 million copies in the first 30 days, but Black Myth Wukong sold 20 million copies in the first month, and it is going to be a top-selling game of 2024. The sky is the limit for Black Myth Wukong because it is a well-developed and polished game that people really love, and they're going to play it over and over and over again. But Star Wars Outlaws will just be another fart in the wind that nobody cares and they will forget about in a matter of months. But anyway, that's all for me. Star Wars Outlaws and Ubisoft blame fans because they cannot create a half-decent game. But if you like the video, hit the like button, comment your guys' thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.